Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Britt over here at Planning with Britt, and we're going to get the Q4 goals planned out in my B6 Plans by Just Scribble planner. So if that's something you're interested in to see how I use the Moxie Life tools inside this planner, then stay tuned. Okay, so this planner, this plan with me, I guess is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to go through the quarterly goals reset and do some of that in my planner. I'm not going to do it all in real time. I'm going to talk to you about some things I'm using, and then I'll do some stuff off camera and then share when we get done because this is a little bit time consuming and I don't want to be here for 14 hours. I am using the Moxie Life Quarterly Goal Toolkit. This came with their launch last year. I have no idea if they're going to offer this again or if it's still available. I'm not really sure. Has 19 sheets that has some different things in there, and we'll look through that together. And then I'm going to use these Moxie Life Areas of Life goal stickers for some parts of this planner that I've been using since I started. This My Ideal Week is great. Maybe if you're new to this or new to goal planning or using Moxie Life in general, but they reference this a lot in a lot of different of their training areas to set up your ideal week so that you know what you have time for outside of things that you're required to do. So there's that. They also have, I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, some monthly trackers. I don't plan on using this at the moment. I am using trackers that are built into this Plans by Just Scribble. So there was that. Quarterly goals. They have them broke down by the areas of life, and that's what these stickers list, but I'm going to use the goal sheets that are built into this planner. Quarterly reset checklist, so definitely we'll go through some of this and see kind of what I've done. So there's quarterly intention questions to answer, quarterly reflections questions to answer. This I'm definitely going to answer. Monthly recaps for every month, and this may be something I start including either at the end of this year, maybe even next year, I'm not sure. But there's several pages of the monthly recaps. There's wins and highlights. So there's a win sheet that you could just record wins as you go throughout the month and maybe put a date by them. There's several of these. There's gratitude sheets that you could write on as you go. And I think these were meant for you to write on these sheets. The way I'm using it is I'm answering these questions and doing these reflections on the pages of my planner. So there's a page here for a yes or no list, a seasonal bucket list, and 2 more monthly trackers that track for all, the 3 months of a quarter. So some of that is not going to be super necessary right now, but I will probably take a look at this, what I'm saying yes to and no to. Maybe a seasonal bucket list might be probably pretty minimal because this is a pretty busy time of the year for me, but I definitely want to look at some things on the checklist. I'm looking for the quarterly assessment. I'm guessing there's not one in here. That seems strange. Maybe I flipped past it because the assessment is definitely like a cornerstone of their system. So I don't know. We'll have to look for it and see. I could have taken it out another quarter when I was looking at some of this stuff. I'm not sure. But I think these wins and gratitude and highlight sheets would be nice to add into the back of my planner and some of those note pages. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to have wins, a running list of wins. Let's look at this envelope and see. Includes quarterly sheets for intentions, goals, reflections, tracking, recaps, wins, highlights, gratitude, yes, no. I guess it doesn't have an assessment, which is strange, but I do have the annual toolkit as well. And I've used it also setting up here and in my Sterling Ink planner, which is what I used at the very beginning of the year. I have both. And there may be a assessment in here. If not, Moxie Life has some of these things, not all of them for sure, but they definitely have the assessment sheets, the Compass assessment sheets on their website. Like you can download it for free. So I may just download one of those and kind of replicate that here. I did think about drawing one in. It's similar to the like Wheel of Life little thing that a lot of people use in other goal setting things, but I don't see a Compass assessment sheet in here either. So anyways, I do have a PDF of that, and so I can either print one or fill it out on normal paper and then replicate the info here. So these are some of the things we're going to look at. And so what my intention probably is here is do like quarterly assessment. And so with these kind of like quarterly intentions and quarterly reflections. So we're going to answer some of these type questions here, and probably over here there's quite a bit of questions to answer. So we'll answer those in this areas. This will probably just be deco or washi down here at the bottom. This is where we ended with the month of September. So that starts this page of the planner where it went page 168 for the quarter 3 recap. But that's how I will probably do that. Instead of recapping September, I'm actually just going to recap the entire quarter on these 2 pages. And then quarter 4 goals. This is where I will use my little labels to fill these in for each of the areas of life. And in quarter 3 last year, we'll probably need to do a little bit of marking off of those, see what got accomplished and what didn't, and also take a peek at my annual goals. And then we can reference from here. So here is where the annual goals are, and then my quarter 3 goals here. And I use the color markers that match because that's what I'm using throughout the planner. But in fact, I changed markers after I created this spread. I bought a different set because these were all really light on this paper and I didn't really care for how it looked. So I bought a set of markers that has a little more saturation. So I'll probably do the same here. We'll mark the marker color I use, plus put the headings, and then I will share some of that with you. And so this I will do off camera. I will write that stuff in here. And I may not write the questions. I may just answer the questions. And I probably will find a way to kind of just tuck these in the back so that I have them going forward, which the next quarter we reflect on will be the new year, which will set up new annual goals. I'll probably use the annual toolkit for that. But using this in this way, I don't have to purchase one for every quarter. I'm just kind of reusing what's here. So there is my plan for this quarter to get that part done. And so I bought these other, they're like, they're shuttle art dot markers. And these are the ones that I'm using now in place of the Zig color ones. And so what had happened is Moxie Life had a colorway, and I had, and other people, it was definitely not me, other people who are better at this game than I am in the Moxie Life group had marked like, you know, created like a color chart, like these markers match each area of life with the Zig Take, you know, the Zig colored dot markers that were out on the market then. And so I had those and I was using those. Well, then Moxie Life created, that went down very crooked. Moxie Life created their own dot markers. And so they changed their color palette. I'm not sure if it was the dots or the mild liners, but either way, I think it was mild liners first. They created mild liners and they had to change their color palette to be able to get the mild liner to match up exactly. Because the ones that the other people that had pulled out before, the ones that, you know, people matched up, they weren't exact matches. They were just close. And so Moxie changed their color palette a little bit to match that, which is perfectly fine. And so then I started using, people went through the regular dot markers because I didn't really want to purchase. I did purchase the Moxie mild liners. I didn't want to purchase more dot markers. So, and the Moxie mild liners are fine. I just didn't like them as much as I liked the zebra mild liners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. What color are we missing? I'm not sure. Not the fun and recreation one, which is next. So we'll set these to a side. I have lots of, what's this one for journaling? Okay, spiritual and personal growth. But the Moxie markers were, they were fine. They just weren't quite the same. And I do like the Zig. And I liked the zebra mild liners. And so I did not, when it was time to, when they came out with their dot markers, I did not change. So I was using the newer color palette that matched, but some of them are much lighter or more muted, subdued, which was fine, except when I changed to this planner with this paper, they didn't show up as well. They did fine on like the Tomoe River paper, like I was using in my Sterling ink, but when we got to this, this is the Cow paper, the B7 Cosmo Airlight paper. It does not those markers are just so light that you can't, and some of them you can't really even hardly see, like the one I was using for work and learning. So like this is what this one looks like, and then we'll go back and look at that other one again. You can't hardly even see it. And the one for fun and recreation, the one for personal, this one is super light. That one's super light. The gray one is okay. My gray one's still a little bit light. This is the older one, and so it's fine. And then you can't see the financial because I have that covered up, but that's okay. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving right along. I'm not sure what I did with the red marker, but that's fine. No, financials over there. Am I putting these in the same places? I'm talking and not paying attention, which is sometimes a problem. Family and the relationships go here. Okay, so that's purple. And I will fill these in off camera also, just for sake of time. And like when I'm doing this, I really have to think about like what does that goal need to look like for this next quarter. I have my annual goals, but I know how busy this next quarter is, and I know how things are going to go, and I know I'm going to need to scale some of this back to just like not the bare minimum, but to maintain the routines I've built through the year without, you know, letting anything slide, but to give me enough time to do the things that have to happen during this quarter also. So health and wellness is blue, and we'll put it here. I am putting these down crooked as they can be today. I don't know what is going on with that. But we're going to get some of this lifted up. Nope, we're not. It's going to tear the paper and the sticker. We're going to leave that right where it's at. So don't do like me and put them down all crooked and wonky. So this is the green for financial. And this may be covered up again because that's just, you know, no reason to share that with the world and the internet. Financial goals are, I think, semi-personal. And some people may feel like that about all of their goals. I don't necessarily feel that way about all of them. And I don't mind sharing my goal journey because I know, at least when I started, if I didn't have people's examples to look at, like, then it's very difficult in some of these categories to like think of what kind of a goal I could have there, or what kind of a, maybe not even the goal. You may know the goal, but trying to think of action steps or breaking that down into like a quarterly action step, a monthly action step, a daily, weekly, you know, all the things. It is kind of a lot if you're not, this one's even more crooked. So this way and this way, whatever. If you've been here before, you already know what you're getting into with me. And if you haven't, well, if you're wanting perfectly laid stickers and really, you know, perfectness, this is probably not the channel for you. So let's look at these questions that we're going to look at, and then we'll talk about them and I'll answer them and share with you. So what are the major milestones I achieved this quarter, and how do they align with my annual goals? How have my priorities shifted, and what adjustments are needed to realign with my vision? What new habits or routines have I successfully integrated? How have they impacted my daily life? In what areas did I face challenges? What strategies helped me overcome them? How have I nurtured my physical, emotional, and mental well-being this quarter? What new insights or learnings have I gained, and how can they inform my future actions? How have I practiced self-care? What activities have been most beneficial? What goals did I not meet, and what can I learn from this experience? How have I extended support or sought support from my network, and what impact has this had? And looking ahead, what are my key focus areas for the next quarter, and what steps will I take to address them? And then the intentions questions, this may help set goals. Like, so this would reflect on the last quarter. And then this one is like, what could I use more of my life in this quarter? What could I use less of? What characteristics do I want to nurture? 3 habits I want to develop. This quarter, I will be more. I will do less. I will give myself grace for. I will let go of. I will embrace. So these are the questions that I'm going to answer in this area, not there, here and here. And then this will probably be a full page. Actually, I already did this. I made 2 collages for this quarter. I made a like fall mood board and a kind of Christmassy mood board. And so I will print those and put here. And then this should be my quarter 4 vision board. And I still have not printed out the quarter 3 one. I created it way, way back in the summer when we started this planner. I created the quarter 3 vision board that's supposed to go here, and I still yet to print it, but I will and put it in here because I do want this to be a complete record. So this planner is getting very fluffy and nicely used. So those little mood boards will go here, probably with some matching washi or something to kind of decorate that. My quarter 4 goals will go there. No, this will be my quarter 4 vision board. The goals are going to go on the goal page. Quarter 4 goals here. This tracker, I do have some ideas after watching. So the creator of this planner is called Plans by Just Scribble. The creator, you can check her YouTube channel out. She went through and created a video on all of these different kinds of sheets in the planner and what you could use them for. And so she had some really good ideas here that I'm going to attempt to implement. I meant to do it in September and I never did. So we'll try it for October. And then here I've been using for content, and I'm going to continue that. And then this will be the October monthly cover page, and my October monthly goals will go here. And then the October monthly is the very next set. So these are the things we're going to be working through and getting done. And I'll just share as I get them done, and we'll talk about them, chat, and I'll explain what I've done, where I've done it. And then, yeah, then we'll get the quarter 4 kind of going. So that's my plan. I mean, we're at 15 minutes and all I've done is show you what I'm using. And so I can only imagine if I've gone through and did all of this with you. So I typically use the first week of the quarter to kind of plan out and do those things. I use HB90 for my business goals, for my Plan with Brett goals. If you want like some more in-depth chat about that, I do that in Sarah, the inventor, I guess. I don't know, the lady that came up with HB90, her system, her course. I use her planner and I use it digitally on my iPad. And so if that's something you want me to kind of walk through here, I can probably try to do a little bit. I try to do some without giving away, like, you know, paid for course stuff. So anyways, this is from Moxie Live. Check them out if you haven't ever seen or heard from them. Their system is great. I've been using it since 2020 and have gotten a lot accomplished using that system. So we're going to get that all filled in, and I'll come back at another time and share with you my what I get done in my quarter 4 goals and my journey along this way. So thanks again for tuning in.